Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Quantum Leap Morning Market Analysis and Trade Level Setup. It is October the 31st, Halloween. Happy Halloween, everyone. Last trading day of the month. If you're new here or visiting us from Twitter or watching the video, Quantum Leap is a self-organized learning environment. My name is Doug McKay. I'm the head moderator, founder of Quantum Leap. Quantum Leap's been around in one way or form for the last 4 years. Howard, I'm getting a lot of feedback. Is that coming from you? Oh, it's gone. All right. So if you're interested in checking out the room, it's a Skype chat room. If you want to give me a contact request, Doug_McKay. It's very quick to set up a Skype account. It's free. And I'll be the Doug McKay from Windsor, Ontario, Canada. We're going to get going here. Each morning, what we do is we go through a process of looking at the macro to the micro numbers, then looking at the micro to the macro trends, then we get into some deeper analysis of charts. So if you're watching this on video, you might want to skip ahead, but we're trying to cut the videos down as quickly as possible and keep them under 30 minutes. If you haven't watched the videos before, go ahead and watch the videos. We've been nailing the levels. I did the review of the last week levels, and we've hit the levels really, really dead on. So hopefully everybody's getting value out of this. Okay, before we get started, I've got to get the disclaimer out of the way. This information is for the purpose of educating members who want to expand the knowledge of the business of trading. It's not for trading or investment advice. You and only you are responsible for the trades or investment decisions you make.
Coming in kind of distorted. Wondering if your connection is bad or you have a lot going on your computer.
Well, we've got some bad weather here. Is it cutting in and out?
It sounds fine now, but there are some times where it sounds like it sounded when you were moving your mouse a lot.
All right, I'll try not to move my mouse too much. Trading futures are an instrument involves the risk of loss. Please consider carefully whether futures or options are appropriate to financial situation. Only risk capital should be used when trading futures or options. Investor could lose more than initial investment. Okay, I'm going to do a quick shutdown of anything I can on this computer so that it's not interrupting. All right, so taking a look at just the overall numbers, of course, we've got the all-time high. You know, this is one of the few times that we haven't come in and put a new high in. So our all-time high remains at 1773.25. It's still garbled.
Yeah, it was a second ago.
I don't know what I'm going to do, Howard. It's probably the weather that's doing it. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can shut some stuff down on my other computer. You know what I'm going to do, too, is I'm going to shut my data off. All right, hopefully that will help a bit. So we still have the all-time high, the year high, the month high, the week high at 1773. In terms of the intraday numbers, we're still trending up. We had a higher Globex, higher high, higher low, and we opened higher yesterday at 1769. Of course, you can see we've now come in with a little bit lower numbers. We had a lower close and a lower VPOC. This is the first time in 5 days that we've had a lower VPOC, and you can see that the trend's been very strong overall. And this is more important. This is the first time that we've had a lower value area. And I think the key to today, now that we're done Fed, is that can we hold value now? And there's certain levels I'll be watching. If we can't hold that value, then I think we're going to get a larger rotation down. Let's take a quick look at the ATR. ATRs are currently set at 1770.75 on the high side for the full session ATR, and that's the ATR average true range targets. Gives you an idea of what type of range that we could be looking at. And then the full session low ATR target is 1742. And we'll take a look at both of those on the chart. Let's take a look at the overall macro to micro trend. Of course, the monthly trend, very strong, good slope and separation, trading above the prior month open, high, low, and close. So the trend is very strong on the monthly. On the weekly, still very strong. We had come down and had that first close on the weekly below the 20 SMA all year. Looked like we were going to get the second one, but then the government settlement came in and we popped up, and we've currently got good slope and separation, and we've got a little bit of a tech gap. I'm still looking for this tech gap to get closed out, but the trend itself is intact. On the daily, we talked about the parabolic move and the fact that we'd come back and probably close the gap. We are looking to go sideways and close the gap through a combination of both time and price, but the trend itself is still very much intact. We talked about once we broke through this energy point of the longer term upward sloping fork and the modified shift fork, that we should go and get a test of the upper line of the longer term fork, and we basically missed it by about 3 3/4 points. So far we've come down. We're coming down to test the 9 EMA. I'm looking at a possibility of coming down and testing this 1741, 1742, which is the ATR target as well, which would give us a test of the center line of the modified shift chart. But we're still in an upward trend in the upper channel of both the long-term upward sloping fork and the modified shift fork that we added a few weeks ago. So the trend is very strong. Taking a look at the intraday trends, you can see that the 4-hour finally, after this long, strong trend where we didn't have any closes below the 20 SMA, we had our first close below the 20 SMA. We had a cross below, and we have a naked cross right now on the 4-hour at 1761. Naked crosses is a study that I started a few years ago. It's where the 9 EMA crosses over the 20 SMA and price action moves away from it. It has a very high probability of going and testing that area, re-auctioning that area. And we track them on the 5, the 15, and the 30 minute for intraday, but I also keep an eye on them on the larger time frame. And if you do your own due diligence on this, this is very high probability. And what we do is we look for clusters. In fact, we took out 4 of them yesterday, that we had targeted to the low side. So they really do have a high probability. So we had a bit of a tech gap with this rollover, and we've come up and closed the tech gap right now and trying to break above the 9 EMA, but currently we are rejecting it. So the trend is kind of stalled out right now on the 4-hour. On the 30-minute, we came down. We had a very strong. We had a rollover. We have a naked cross on the 30-minute up here at 1669.75, and then we had a nice strong move down, and now we've come back above the 9 and the 20, and the trend is starting to come back up. We just came down, tested the 9 EMA, and rejected off of it. So the 30-minute is looking a little bit more positive going into the trading day, the RTH session. Just drill it down to the 5-minute, and you can see that we've been trending up on the 5-minute, but we're getting some consolidation in this area, and we've still got some time before the RTH opens. Let's go over to the composite. So we went up and put that all-time high again, and we've been talking about this for quite some time in the Quantum Leap homework sessions, that there happens to be a tendency lately, and this is actually for the last year or so, where we go in and we put the all-time highs in the extended session or the Globex. And you can see that we put that 1773 in the Globex, not this Globex session, but yesterday's Globex session, and we failed to reach it in yesterday's RTH session. We got as high as 1770.50. Then we rolled over, okay, came down, and we kind of found some balance, but then after the Fed, we spiked back up, hit that 66 level again, and then came down. We had a push into the afternoon, and then they bought it back up, and we closed in around that 1760.75. So currently, right now, we are trading inside of this balance area for the last two days. We're trading right at the CHVN and just below or just above the value area low. Value area low on this is 1758. If we hold value, that's the key right now. Can we hold value? Do we have enough buyers still in this marketplace to hold value and continue this move up? If we hold above 1758, I'd be looking for a rotation up into the 59.50 again, and test the other side of that balance at 60 and a quarter. But if we get above 60 and a quarter, then your main targets above are going to be 61.75 and 64.50, the naked VPOC from yesterday, with the other side of balance being 1765.75, and above that a test of the value area high at 66.50 and a move to the CHVN and the HVN from the upper distribution from yesterday at 1760.50, with the other side of balance being 68. Above 68.75, I don't think there's any doubt in my mind that we're going to go out and equalize the RTH high and the Globex high at that 1773.75, and possibly continue higher and make new highs. If we get below the value area, I'd be looking for a test to the other side of balance down here at 1756 and a quarter, and below that the move is going to be down to 54, with 52.25 being the major line in the sand. Below 52.25, I think we get some capitulation from the buyers, and I think we get a larger rotation. It gets us below the double distribution, the LVN, the microcomposite LVN from the 2 days of balance, where they found balance around 1750. I think we come down and test that, but I think we actually come down and we start testing the value area high of the balance that we found. It basically, you got your value area low at 1748 on the 2-day microcomposite, and the value area high for the last 5 days, where we found balance before we made the move to make the new high at 1747.75. Below that, 45.50, but the big number below, and the one I keep talking about, is this move down to 1738.75. I think this is where we've got to go. And this is my hypothesis, whether it happens today or happens next week. I think we got to come back down to the 1738. It would be a healthy retracement. This is what we need to go and make new highs, and I think this is where we're going to get. What we do have to look at is the possibility of getting stuck in the wicks down here. I think that we are going to see a little bit of weakness, but I think they're going to try to hold value, and I think we're going to spend some time as we talk about getting stuck in the wicks. This is unauctioned territory, unproperly auctioned territory, and I think that we'll get stuck in the wicks down here for either a portion of the day or the whole day, with a possible move to test this 1750 on the lower end. Let's take a look at the Globex numbers and then move them over to our intraday. We have a high right now of 1761. I didn't take these out. I've got to take those out. We have an overnight high of 1761. We have an overnight low of 1751.75. So basically a 10 handle move in the Globex last night, and right back down to test yesterday's RTH range and held, and then rotated back up, and we're currently trading up here. Our overnight VPOC right now Where's my VPOC? That can't be right. Howard, what do you have for the overnight VPOC right now? Is it really? It's 1753?
That's what I have.
Okay, didn't look, kind of look strange. So 1753 is the overnight VPOC. Okay, we have naked crosses at 1753. We have naked cross at 1759.50. We have a naked cross at 71.25. Whoops, 25, not 75. 1769.75. 65, not 50. And 1746.
Also, just as an FYI, your overnight high is based on the ETH session.
I know we have this argument all the time. I'm using the profile that runs for my Globex from 3:30 through to 8:30 a.m. in the morning. Some people wouldn't consider that, but to me it's aftermarket action anyway. So that's the way I'm continuing to look at the overnight high, because it's other time frame traders. It's not the same traders that are trading the RTH session. So taking a look at where we are within and setting up our levels for the day, we've got a key LVN right here, which is at 1765.50. This will be a trade area that I'll be trading. We are currently trading in the lower distribution around this HVN from yesterday at 1758.50. That was that naked close that we were looking to close out yesterday. If we get below this LVN right here at 1756.50 and 56 and a quarter, which is a 56 and a quarter, which is a CLVN that I've been using in prior days. I'm going to be using that as an area to do business. And then, of course, if we get below the value area low at 54, and if we get below the 51.50, which is the range low, 51.75, and the afternoon swing low, that spike down to that low. To the upward side, I'll be looking at the value area, the LVN here at 69 to make a move to take out the range high and go up and take out that naked cross. It's 68.75, not 69. We've got the naked cross here, the range high at 70.50, and the naked cross above, and then the main target above is going to be that 73 and a quarter, which is our all-time high. So my main hypothesis for today is that we chop around in this. We're going to open up inside a range. I think we'll go ahead and the gap close is going to be 1760.75, which is one tick below the 1761. I think we go and we've got the naked cross here at 1759.50. I'll be looking for buyers to step in on the open, take us up to take out the naked cross, take the naked close, and the overnight high. 96% probability of doing that. We're trading closer to the overnight high than we are to the low. So I think your 96 probability shifts to the upside, especially with the VPOC, the naked VPOC above at 1762.50. I'm expecting some sellers to step in here and try to push it back down at here. So I'm looking for a push in the open to take out the 62.50, then rotate down through this area, okay, test the LVN and that 56.25 CLVN, and then come down and test the lower value, at which time we could see some buyers take us back up and chop around and get stuck in this wicks. down here. If they can get through the value area, then I'd be looking for a push down into testing the 5175, take out these targets that we've got, the overnight low, and push down into this 1750. And then I think that we'll see some possible buyers stepping in there and rotating back up. If we break out and we get below 1750, we've got a nice cluster here at 1745.50 with the two naked crosses on either side of it, and right down here at that 1745.50. I don't expect to get much lower than that today, but if we do get some type of serious weakness coming in, then the main target below again is that 1738.75 area. And that's where I anticipate we have to come back down to pick up buyers to keep this trend alive. But I don't think it's going to happen today. My secondary hypothesis is that buyers step in and they push us back up, and we go up and test the value area high, break through, and go and test this upper area of 1770 and go and equalize the RTH high and the the all-time high at 1773.25, and then find a little bit higher high, but then rotate down and come back and probably chop around the range high as they tried to hold higher value. And then my third hypothesis is we get weakness out of the gate. They come down through, break through all these levels, go down and hit this 1745.75 and a push through. But my main hypothesis is we're going to get a move up in the open, sellers step in, and we chop around inside of value with a push down, slightly down to 1750. Secondary hypothesis is a move up and take out the higher targets and equalization. And third hypothesis, weakness out of the open, and then we just go down and take out that 1745 naked VPOC and possibly push down to the 38.95. That's what I'm looking at. Let's take a look at where we are in the Keltner. We are in the upper channel of the Keltner channel, so if we stay there, anticipate a move up to that 1760.50. That will take us a move to take out the overnight or the naked close and the overnight high. Test of the center line will bring us down to 54.75. That will give us a test of the value area low from yesterday, and then a move down to the lower Keltner channel is going to take us down into that 1749, which is that 1750 that I'm looking at. Taking a look at gold, we talked about the 1337.25 being a key line in the sand to hold value for a rotation back up towards the microcomposite VPOC at 47 and a test of the other side of balance at 51.75. If we could stay above the 51.75, then a move to that 63, 60, 66, and 87 above. We couldn't hold it. We held it yesterday and just held inside and rotated around that 47. So far today we've broken out and we've broken below the 37.25, and we're showing some weakness. We're down into this distribution down here, so I'm looking for a move down to test this 1323, 1324 level. You've got the former microcomposite VPOC at 25, the value area high from this balance zone at 23, but the main target below is still that 1318, with the other side of balance being a test down to, well, you got the 1309 area, which was the area that we were looking to come down prior in this microcomposite VPOC, and basically that's right at the low, swing low of this balance area here, with the other side of balance at 1304 and the centennial number at 1300. I don't think we're going to get all the way down there today. I think we can see a lot of chop in this area with a slow rotation down towards this 1318. I think they're going to come down to this 1318 again to find buyers and try to make another push up above that 37.25 and back towards 47. And then again, targets are still remain the same: 61, 63, 66, and 87 above. So that's what I'm looking at on gold. Howard, over to you.
Thank you, Doug. Let's take a look quickly at the weekly charts. And we have 2 days left in the week, but we did, as we see, set a new high of the year at 1773 and a quarter, set during a Globex session, and over the first 3 days of this week and the Globex last night, we're seeing a shooting star forming. So that could potentially be at least a signal of stalling or a possible top. But we still have 2 days left to play out, but this is just sort of an early signal of what might be happening this week. The daily chart. And yesterday we had an outside day. We had a higher high and a lower low, but this was not a key reversal day since we did not close below yesterday's or the prior day's low, which was 1754.50. We did test below it, but we did not hold below it. But it is an outside bar. And so far during this Globex session, we're a little bit weaker from where we left off yesterday. We came down and nearly tested this daily 9 EMA. Didn't quite get there, but did have some rejection. So this will be, the next level of support that we'll be looking for to determine if more buyers come in to go to take out a high which was set in Globex in an RTH session, or whether we break through and we have more confirmation on potential consolidation or more weakness coming in. Let's go to our market breadth. And let's zoom in just a little bit. Okay, we set our highs in our advanced decline, which is the middle graph, and our up-down volume, which is the lower graph. NYSE is in the cyan, and the NASDAQ is in blue, or red, I mean. We peaked on October 22, and we started showing a little less strength to the upside. So we were seeing less overall market breadth supporting the continued rise to the last market high. Now we did have a little bump up here, but we have a lower high in advanced declines and up-down volume versus where they peaked here on the 22nd. So breadth is weakening. NASDAQ actually on up-down volume finished below the 50% level. So there's more net down volume on a 10-day average basis than up volume. So, this could be an early warning sign that the market is getting ready to have some consolidation or maybe even more weakness. That has yet to play out, but we did have this bearish engulfing candle on the SPY yesterday. So that is a bearish indication. So let's look at the sectors. So it looks like all of the sectors have started turning down a bit from the high. So good broad agreement in yesterday's move lower. Not a very strong move yet, but we'll see where it plays from here. And then we'll take a look at on-balance volume. And it is currently in sync with price. You know, it did set this higher high eventually, but it took a while before it did. The last little peak here in SPY did make a higher high, but made a lower high here in the on-balance volume, and eventually we did resolve that non-confirmation here. So that's all I've got this morning, Doug. I'll turn it back over to you.
Thanks, Howard. I want to apologize for the technical difficulties that we've had today. Unfortunately, with the weather outside, I think it's affecting my cable speed for some reason. I'm on an older street, and sometimes when the weather gets bad, my cable feed kind of acts wacky. Anyway, I want to thank all the guests that come in today. We do this every morning prior to trading, so look for the link on Twitter. Again, if you want to come in and check out the chat room itself, send me a Skype request to Doug_McKay, M-C-K-A-Y. I'll be the one from Windsor, Ontario, Canada. I'm going to go ahead and shut the room down. I'll post the intraday chart with the levels in both the Quantum Leap room and on Twitter, so if you want the actual chart to reference what I spoke about this morning. And if you haven't watched the videos or reviewed them, go and review them and see how our performance has been. You'll understand that volume profile and the analysis is in here can give you a little bit of an edge for what the probabilities are for the day. Never 100% correct, but we've been nailing the levels lately. Anyways, everybody trade well, trade safe, and we'll catch you on the flip side.